Hi guys, thanks for joining me. A narrow win for Arsenal in the end versus Brighton. So much to unpack in this game, and I am so glad I waited till late in the day to make a comment, because if I'd recorded just after the game, I would have been complaining about everything, including the price of milk. Before we go into breaking this down just a little bit more, please, guys, if you haven't already subscribed, consider subscribing, and then we'll go from there. But yeah, we are very close to 3K now, subscribers, and I'm really, really thankful for all the support. So now, let me bring up the lineups of these players. I was so shocked because I am like in AFCON mood. So I think I tuned in about 2 or 3 minutes into the Arsenal game because I was trying to sort out myself and the AFCON game, and then trying to figure out how to get this Arsenal game on my other screen on my phone so I could watch both, because I think I was watching Senegal versus DRC on my telly. I go in and I'm thinking, why is Declan Rice playing, I thought he was on the wing with Sasa because he was that high up on the right wing. And I'm thinking, he has been switched. I could just, I didn't even check the lineup before they started, the confirmed lineup. But anyway, it turns out Jury and Timber landed badly. And Calafiori in warm-up before the game, something happened. So we've got yet more injuries, just as they announced that Gabriel Magalhaes is back in the sides. He's on the bench. 2 more injuries. We are cooked once again because both our left back and our right back are out of commission. But when you've got coverage for your left back with Miles Lewis-Skelly, at least you've got a way to survive. Now, I have convinced myself over the last season that Miles Lewis-Skelly was being protected by Declan Rice, and that's why Declan Rice couldn't progress the ball the way he did in the season before last, because he had to protect both Martin Zubimendi and Miles Lewis-Skelly, so we didn't lose possession in that area, and blah, 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 blah. That is what I was telling myself. Today, I thought Miles Lewis-Skelly did okay on that left wing. In fact, I think he is probably him and Trossard. I think him and Trossard were probably the ones who were making a lot more efforts to provide some supply to Gyökeres. We've got a huge problem. I am going to speculate like crazy about what's happening with this Gyökeres situation in a minute. David Raya had a spectacular save near the end of the game to keep the scoreline at 2-1. Beautiful shot, and it was going into the net. And Raya pulled off probably our save of the season so far. But this guy, we know he can do it. He can do it. William Saliba and Nkapie, I didn't notice them do much wrong, except when William Saliba jumped in front of Gyökeres, distracting him from heading a ball in with an assist from Saka, a rare one. So he sort of obstructed him there. Nkapie was really helping defend on the right wing a lot more. I saw him do some crazy stuff on the right wing, and I'm like, what are you doing there? Anyway, he was doing everything. These guys are working so hard for each other. Midfield, Martin Ødegaard opened the scoring in the 15th minute, and the strike was beautiful. A great assist from Saka again, found him in an open space, and the strike went in. Reminds me of Ødegaard of 2 seasons ago. He was magnificent, and it was a pretty good shot. Martin Zubimendi, I also saw him go wide quite a lot. These guys were switching flanks. I think it's because Merino as well was switching a little bit with Ødegaard, trying to do whatever they were doing. Leandro Trossard, for me, had a pretty decent game without scoring and without probably creating very clear goal-scoring opportunities, but he is always dangerous. Gyökeres definitely missed an opportunity where he was, and you know what, he was never really in the right positions to do much damage to anybody. The way he plays, I think, he doesn't sort of cut across the defender. he moves away from the defender. And that is one of the problems Bukayo Saka is having reading his runs. Now, there were so many moments, and Bukayo Saka, rightly so, I have had a lot of criticism for him in the last few games. And I'll tell you why in the end. I don't feel like he feels an obligation to do his job, which is supply our strikers with opportunities to score. There were about 4 or 5 opportunities Saka had where he had no business whatsoever to go for the shot, and he took the shot. Saka would rather you square that shot and the striker is not in place so we can blame them correctly. But you decide to go for every shot. I know sometimes you score very good goals from those positions, but I maintain that unless it's a tap-in for you, you square it. And then Gyökeres will know when to cut in and when to sort of create more space for himself to get the ball. Now, the defense for Brighton as well were doing a great job. They were blocking a lot of spaces, so maybe it wouldn't have worked out. But for me, it showed a lot more selfishness and lack of preemptive thought from Bukayo Saka. Definitely one of our best players, but he has got a problem with Gyökeres. And you know what? It made me think of the way they are treating him, Gyökeres. I wouldn't be shocked if there was a separate WhatsApp group without Gyökeres in it. There's some sort of agenda we don't know about Gyökeres where they're not working to make him look good, which is so retrogressive for our ambitions, in my opinion. So retrogressive. But I can tell you right now, I think there is a WhatsApp group of certain players who are making sure that Gyökeres is not getting the supply. I haven't seen Ødegaard even try once to get the ball in the path of Gyökeres. Leandro Trossard is the only person who seems to have an idea about what to do to get the ball near Gyökeres. Lewis Kelly tried that. He got the, he made the ball. He created a chance where he had Gyökeres running onto the ball on the left wing. It was just too wide, so he couldn't do a lot with it. But I was like, you see, you can do it. But no, do not ask Bukayo Saka to do that, And I think we all saw when this started, when Kyle came back from injury and he was playing his 200th game, and we sort of like played it off like, it was his 200th game. So, of course, he wanted to take the penalty and he got the ball. Instead of giving it to Gyökeres, he decided to take that penalty himself and he scored it. Yay, well done. But come on, Gyökeres should be taking all our penalties. He is our goal scorer. And you know why? It's because at the end of the season is when we should be counting our awards. We should not be counting our GA now. We want our GA at the end of the season because we are lifting a trophy. The way we are going, I'm telling you guys, we are not lifting any trophy in the Premier League because we are going to pay for it. Did you see how close we came to getting another draw against Brighton? We looked good at 2-0. And then, of course, the own goals are rescuing us big time, man. I'm here for the own goals and the corners. I'm here for it. But we are, the corners were doing heavy lifting earlier in the season. The own goals are doing heavy lifting at the moment. And, at the end of the day, we have to take it. But if we've got players playing for themselves and playing to maintain some sort of silly agenda, which we don't know about, we are going to pay for it. And I've already seen the attacks are coming for Saka because what he is doing to Gyökeres is just so obvious. It's just so obvious. It looks so bad on him. Even if he scores. When he scored in the last game or the other game, whatever that was, I was like, you should have passed it. You remember? We were like, you should have passed it. You shouldn't be scoring from that angle. You should be squaring that. Because that is, football is, we all know the best teams in the world do not win by just being individuals on the pitch. Without a group mentality and everyone just thinking, I need to be on the score sheet, I need to be the one holding a trophy at the end of the game, we are going to do what we have done for the last 4 seasons. We are going to be the bridesmaids. And if we continue protecting Saka, because he's our star boy and our baby boy, he's my baby boy. But we need to get him thinking straight because, no, No, we saw what happened today, and it is not good. And poor Gyökeres is paying for it. Anyway, Diego Gómez had a beautiful goal he scored in the end. There was some ricochet, bounce back, blah, blah, blah. He scored one to make it 2-1 for Brighton, Hove, Albion. And then there was a late attempt, which Raya saved. It wasn't super late, but it was somewhere near saved. And then in the 71st minute, and you know that goal was conceded after Skelly came off, Louis Skelly came off and Gabriel came on. So they moved Nkapie to the out, not to the left. They moved him obviously to the left, and then Saliba and Gabriel went in the middle as expected, but it destabilized our setup. And I think that is why it opened up. The minute Gyökeres came off, Brighton started pressing us like demons. Please, can we not do that too often? Yeah? I don't know how we can do it, but Gyökeres coming off for some reason gives the other team so much sass. And we don't want it. We don't want it. We can't afford it. And the minute and you know, like from the 70th minute, we didn't look stable. We looked very vulnerable. We looked very vulnerable from the 70th minute. I was getting anxious because the opportunities opened up for Brighton. They started pressing, they started peppering in crosses and doing all sorts of crazy things. And that is basically our talisman, the guy who we don't see what he is doing because we can't see his name on the score sheet, was taken off. It is not a coincidence, guys. You'll see in most of the games where we've taken off or we haven't played Gyökeres, we lose something because we free up a couple of players from the defense. They don't have to stay with him. They can move forward and they can protect their, the midfielders, and the midfielders can bomb forward at will and without worrying that if a ball goes. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. But whatever the case, yeah, that was the result for Arsenal. I actually forgot I was going to do the other game. So let's have a quick look at how the other teams played as well today in the Premier League. So Manchester City beat Nottingham Forest 2-1. I didn't watch it. I just heard there was some controversy. And I've heard Sean Dyche basically come out very, very strongly against the what do you call it? Against the referee. And I'm not shocked. I've seen this for years. You know what? The referees are going to try and shaft us. And the only way for us to sort it out is making sure that Bukayo Saka does not continue his selfish ways. And he should learn how to play in our central striker so we can maximize our opportunities, optimize our performances. That is how you do it. Anyway, so yeah, Man City beat Notts Forest, and then Brentford beat Bournemouth. I went for a draw for this match, by the way. They beat Bournemouth 4-1. Let's see who scored here. Sade with a hat-trick. Oh my days. Petrovic on goal. Semenyo with 1 goal for Bournemouth. Burnley Everton. I went for a Everton win. That wasn't to be. It was a 0-0 draw. And Liverpool versus Wolves. Gravenberch scored in the 41st, and Wirtz scored in the 42nd. Bueno for Wolves scored in the 51st. So it was a narrow win for Liverpool as well. Wolverhampton are this team which, on paper, they've got 2 points, but in reality, when you play them, hey, you have to survive. Those guys, I don't even know how they've only got 2 points. They just don't know how to close out a game properly. But they've got potential, huge potential. It's a shame, really, that they've gone this far down the drain. West Ham United lost to Fulham 1-0. So it looks like Fulham are not missing their African contingents. So they did the job. And who scored for Fulham? It was Raúl Jimenez scored. And then, of course, our other enemies, we've got new enemies in town, guys. Aston Villa. Hey, 12 wins in a row. So bad for Arsenal. So we've got Unai Emery on our coattails, and they beat Chelsea 2-1. First, Chelsea opened the scoring in 37 minutes with Pedro Neto, or one of the João Pedro, I think it was João Pedro. And then Watkins with 2. He came on as a sub, I think, and he scored 2 goals for Aston Villa. Aston Villa have been doing this a lot. Honestly, do not trust them unless you're winning 3-0. Don't trust them anywhere near the goal. They are going to do you. they're going to do you. Arsenal found out the hard way. So my problem now with Aston Villa is Arsenal are playing these guys next. They already did us 2-1 at this. Was it 2-1 or 3? Anyway, it was 2-1 in Birmingham when we went there. Actually, it was my son's birthday or the day after my son's birthday on December the 6th. We are playing them in 3 days' time. And it promises to be a very painful game for us because Arteta seems to have inbuilt anxiety. But Unai Emery is very motivated because it probably doesn't like the way he was sacked and slandered when he managed Arsenal. But let us be clear. I loved Unai. I think he was a very good manager for us. He just didn't have what it takes to make us win anything. Similar to what Arteta is doing now, I can't lie. But the only reason Unai is as good as he is now is the experience he has gained over the last 7 years. Since he left Arsenal, he was making so many mistakes. Did you remember back where we played Chelsea and got hammered 4-0 because he played Peter Cech in goal, something crazy like that? He had some very, very bad ideas. But you know what? I want to congratulate him for improving and doing such a great job he's doing at Aston Villa. But we need to finish him off because he's 3 points behind Arsenal. If he beats Arsenal again, this guy is going to be on the same points, and we can't allow that. So we need to do him so that we can give ourselves like a 6-point buffer with him. Our other problem is Manchester City. I genuinely think Manchester City are going to win the Premier League this season, despite my earlier claims that Arsenal can win it. But the way things are going, we've got Gabriel back. It's possible we can win it, but unlikely. Unlikely. I've been here before, guys. I have been here before, and I'm a professional on Arsenal misery. I am prepared. As an Arsenal fan and a Zambian fan, these guys, I keep saying, are determined to finish me off without my permission. But that is my lot. That is my cross to bear. And I'm here for it. Let's see what happens. I want to be nicely surprised by the end of the season. And that would be the best gift ever. Let's see. Did I do all the games for today? I'm such a whiny cow today, isn't it? Complaining about everything, including the price of milk. Villa annoying me, Man City annoying me, Zambia annoying me. And then, of course, tomorrow in the Premier League, the Sunderland versus Leeds United, and then Crystal Palace versus Tottenham. Those are the games that are happening, that have happened, and that are happening and that have happened. So let me know what you think. Can Arsenal realistically continue to hope that they'll be able to win the league this season? Can Arteta do the job? Can we be optimistic? Or should we just accept that this is another season where we probably need to get ready for some misery? Anyway, let me not overdo it. Guys, I gotta go because I've got a very bad throat. Very gross, very horsey. All right, guys, I'll be talking to you very soon. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for your support. Do not forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And also find me on my other platform. I've got a TikTok and a Facebook page called Daliso Sports Show. And then we'll go from there. This has been Daliso on DSS. I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye, guys.